You slept 7 hours last night, maybe 8, and yet you sat on the edge of that bed this morning and you needed a long moment before your feet even touched the floor. If you want to understand why your blood may be carrying a hidden burden that drains your energy, dims your thinking, and aches through your joints long before the calendar says it should, the answer is not in a prescription your doctor can hand you at the end of a 15-minute appointment. And it is not in the vitamins lining your bathroom shelf. The answer lives much closer to the ground in the plants and the rituals that have been clearing the blood since long before any of us had laboratory words to explain why. My name is Camilla Hayes, and I am so glad you are here with me today. What I am about to share with you can change the quality of your days in ways that a standard checkup will never catch. Because when blood becomes sluggish with waste, the body cannot move on its own. It quietly takes the things that make your life yours. Things like showing up to a grandchild's school performance fully present, not half your mind on the heaviness in your legs. The women who have come through my door for 35 years knew something was wrong long before any test confirmed it. Today, we are going to talk about what to look for and what to do. My name is Camilla Hayes. For 35 years, I have worked as a traditional herbalist out of the foothills of rural South Carolina, practicing the plant medicine passed down through 4 generations of our family, rooted in the Gullah tradition that shaped everything I know. I have sat with more than 12,000 women, most of them past 60, and I still learn from every single one who comes through the door. My grandmother used to say that all sickness starts in the belly. She did not say it as a theory. She said it the way you say the sun rises in the east, because she had watched it her whole life and her mother before her. What they understood was this: when the body's natural cleaning systems fall behind, the blood carries what they could not clear. And that is where every sign on today's list begins. In our community, in the foothills where I grew up, the women who drank their bitter root teas and kept their herbs close to the kitchen lived long and moved freely well into their 80s. Across those generations, the same plants kept appearing: dandelion, slippery elm, burdock root, nettle. Researchers have begun studying these same plants in recent decades. The tradition was there long before they arrived to look. Now, one of the signs I'm about to share is going to catch you off guard. I can almost promise it. 9 out of 10 women who have sat across from me had been blaming this particular sign on something else entirely. Something that made perfect sense on its own, but was pointing them in the wrong direction. The order in which I share these signs matters because each one builds on the one before. Stay with me all the way to number 1. That one carries the most. Before we go any further, I want to hear from you, my friend. Leave a comment below and tell me your age. And while you are there, tell me which of these warning signs you recognize in your own body right now. I read every single comment on this channel, and what you share shapes what I cover in the weeks ahead. Here is what we are going to walk through today. I will show you the morning sensation that most women past 60 mistake for simply getting older when the body is actually sending a clear and specific message. I will share the skin signal that many women have been covering over for years without recognizing what it means. We will talk about the joint pattern that most women blame on cold weather or the years and why they are only partially right. I will explain the digestive pattern that almost never comes up in a standard appointment. I will share the headache that hides in plain sight. And finally, we arrive at number 1, the master sign that sits beneath every other one on this list. This is the one I wish every woman over 60 could recognize before another season passes. Before I begin, one small ask. If you are not yet subscribed to this channel, take 2 seconds and do that now. Every week I bring what 35 years in this work has taught me, and I do not want it missing the women who need it most. Help me reach them. Number 10, waking up tired even after a full night of sleep. Not the tired that a short rest will fix. The kind that is already waiting behind your eyes before you even open them, so familiar by now that you may have started to accept it as simply who you are. When the body's clearing pathways are carrying more than they can move, energy is the first thing rerouted away from everything else. Think of a home where all the drains have slowed. The water still moves, but everything backs up behind it. My grandmother drank warm lemon water every single morning of her life past 80. Start there. 8 ounces, warm the juice of half a lemon before anything else passes your lips. Pair it with 10 minutes of walking before breakfast. The two together move the clearing systems in ways that either one alone simply cannot. Number 9 will surprise almost everyone who hears it. Number 9, when thinking has become slow work. Words you know well sitting just out of reach, reading the same line twice without it landing. A mind that feels like it has moved somewhere just slightly beyond where you can touch it. When the blood is carrying more than its clearing systems can manage, the brain is often where it shows first. The compounds that should be filtered out begin to affect clarity before most other systems raise a complaint. Dorothy, 68 years old, a retired school librarian from Chattanooga, Tennessee, came to see me convinced something serious was happening to her mind. She began drinking dandelion root tea each morning and removed most processed cooking oils from her meals. Within 6 weeks, her thinking had sharpened in a way she had not expected. Miss Camilla, she told me, I got my words back. Nettle leaf tea 3 times a week after lunch supports the blood's natural filtration. Pair it with morning light in your eyes within the first hour after rising. The two together help reset the brain's daily rhythm in ways my clients often notice within 2 weeks. Number 8 is something you can see, though many women have been looking past it for a while. Number 8, skin that has gone dull or flat, small rashes that appear and disappear without a clear reason. Breakouts that have no business being there at this stage of life. The skin is one of the body's largest clearing organs. When the primary pathways are running slow, the skin takes on more of the clearing work than it was designed to carry. In the old healing tradition I was raised in, this was called the body talking through the only door still open. Calendula tea 3 times a week and a tablespoon of raw apple cider vinegar in a glass of water each morning. Support the skin from the inside by giving the other clearing pathways more room to do their work. Number 7 is one that most women blame on the cold weather or the years. Number 7, morning stiffness in the joints, knees that protest the stairs, fingers that need 10 minutes of gentle movement before they will cooperate with the morning. The kind of stiffness that has you moving slowly through your kitchen while the coffee brews, waiting for your body to catch up with the day you have ahead of you. When the blood carries uncleared inflammatory compounds over an extended period, the joints are often where the accumulation settles. The tissue around the joint holds fluid that should be moving and is not. Harold, 73 years old, a retired postal worker from Hot Springs, Arkansas, came to me barely able to grip his coffee cup in the morning. He began drinking a cup of ginger and turmeric tea each day. After 10 weeks, his joint mobility had improved by close to 40%, according to his own careful daily tracking. Camilla, he told me, I can hold my grandchildren's hands again without wincing. Add half a teaspoon of black pepper to that ginger and turmeric tea. It raises the absorption of the turmeric's active compounds in a way that makes a meaningful difference. Number 6 runs deeper than most people realize. Number 6, when digestion has become heavy and slow, bloating after meals that used to sit easy, going a day or two without a complete movement, the belly that presses against the waistband of your clothes by early evening, even when you have not eaten much. The gut is the body's primary clearing house. When the belly falls behind, the blood carries what the belly could not move out. My grandmother's generation understood this as one truth, not 2 separate problems. Here is something I want you to hold on to because it ties everything we are talking about today together. After 60, the population of beneficial bacteria in the gut can fall by more than 60% compared to earlier decades of life. Probiotics alone, as helpful as they are, cannot do the full work without 2 other partners. Prebiotic fiber to feed those bacteria, and postbiotics, the actual healing compounds the bacteria produce once they have what they need. Think of it as a garden. Seeds need good soil. Good soil without seeds stays empty. and seeds struggling in poor soil will not take root. All three parts are required for the garden to work. Slippery elm tea taken warm before bed has been in our root tradition as a gut-calming remedy for longer than anyone in my family can remember. Add 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed to your morning oatmeal or porridge and let the two work together through the day. Number 5, hide somewhere most women would not think to look. Number 5, headaches that arrive without a clear cause, not from tension or a long, hard day. The kind that appear mid-morning or settle in behind the eyes by early afternoon, almost predictably as though they have their own quiet schedule. When the blood is carrying what it should not, the brain's chemical environment becomes increasingly burdened, and the blood vessels that supply the brain respond to that with a pressure that registers as pain. Frances, 66 years old, a retired ceramics teacher from Taos, New Mexico, had been managing daily headaches for 3 years before she came to see me. She started peppermint and feverfew tea each afternoon, reduced her sugar intake significantly, and added more dark leafy greens to her evening meals. By the second month, her headaches had dropped in frequency by roughly 50%. "I forgot what a clear-headed afternoon felt like," she told me. "Now I have them back." Pair that tea with an extra glass of plain water for every cup of coffee or caffeinated tea you drink through the day. The two together support what the body is trying to do on its own. Now, I want to pause here for a moment. Every practice I have been sharing with you today works better when the body is not quietly carrying a hidden fire underneath. That fire is chronic inflammation, and in bodies past 60, inflammation almost always traces its roots back to the gut. What I have settled on for myself and for the clients who ask me directly is BoochBod Kombucha Gummies. They carry all three things we have been talking about: prebiotic fiber, the lactose spore probiotic, and postbiotics LM1004, a postbiotic. They also contain dandelion root and slippery elm, two plants that have been in the southern root tradition for generations. Over 30,000 people are now using it daily. And it is a gummy, not a pill, which matters to those of us who have had enough of swallowing capsules. The link is in the description below this video. And please speak to your doctor before starting any supplement. Now back to our list. Number 4, dark circles that no amount of sleep addresses. Puffiness that settles beneath the eyes each morning and takes hours to fully leave the face. The tissue beneath the eyes is among the earliest places the kidney's burden shows on the surface. When filtration is strained, the evidence appears there before it appears almost anywhere else. Dandelion root tea each morning supports the kidney's natural filtering work gently and without stress. Keep your sodium lower in the hours after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Give the kidneys the quiet they need through the night to do what they were built to do. Pair this with keeping your evening meal lighter than your midday meal. Simple, but it matters more than most people realize. Number 3 is a sign that women rarely connect to the blood at all. Number 3, when the body's scent has quietly shifted. A different quality to perspiration that has appeared gradually, not related to activity or the season. A heaviness in the breath that seems to come from somewhere deeper than the mouth. When the primary clearing pathways are running behind, the skin takes on more of the clearing work, and what it releases changes in character. Ruth, 69 years old, a retired music teacher from Eugene, Oregon, had noticed this change for nearly 2 years before she came to see me. She began burdock root tea twice each week, increased her plain water through the day, and started eating fresh parsley at every meal. Within 8 weeks, the change had reduced substantially. "I felt like my body found its way back," she told me. Dark leafy greens, fresh parsley, and cilantro are among the oldest blood-clearing remedies in our tradition. Add them to your meals the way you would salt or pepper, as a daily matter, of course, rather than a special effort. Number 2 is quiet, but do not overlook it, my friend. Number 2, cuts and scrapes that take longer to heal than they used to. A small wound on the back of the hand still visible 2 weeks after it happened. Bruises that linger well past when they should have faded. When the blood is carrying a heavier burden, the resources it would normally send to a healing site, the nutrients, the oxygen, the cellular tools needed to rebuild tissue, have less free capacity to do their work quickly. If you are noticing this pattern alongside any changes in your blood pressure, or if you are currently on blood thinning medications, please bring it up with your doctor as it can be relevant to your broader health picture and worth a direct conversation. Crushed raw garlic each day, paired with foods high in vitamin C, supports the blood's delivery capacity. Let the crushed garlic rest for 10 minutes before adding it to your food. Bell peppers, dark leafy greens, and citrus are your partners here. And now we arrive at number one. Number one is the sign I saved for last because without understanding this one, the rest of the list does not fully come together. Number one is chronic low-grade inflammation that has no single location in the body. No clear origin, no single dramatic symptom, but a presence that hums underneath everything. The joints that wake up stiff, the brain that reaches and misses, the energy that will not build past a certain ceiling, the skin that stays flat, the belly that moves slow. These are all downstream of this one signal, my friend. When the blood has carried an uncleared burden long enough, the body responds with a quiet, persistent, inflammatory state, not the inflammation you feel from an injury, the kind that settles in across months and years, the way rust settles into metal that has been sitting in damp air. My grandmother called it carrying old heat. Her mother before her used the same words, and what both of them understood was that the body does not hold old heat without reason. It holds it because something inside is asking to be addressed. In our lineage, the response was always the same: bitter roots, moving water, dark greens, and patience. Dandelion, burdock, nettle. These plants appear in the healing traditions of communities across the South, across the Caribbean, across every root culture I have ever studied for exactly this purpose. Researchers who have come to study them in recent decades have confirmed what the old healers observed across lifetimes of watching. These plants support the body's own clearing systems in ways that matter deeply after 60. Barbara, 77 years old, a retired florist from Burlington, Vermont, had lived with what her doctor described as mild systemic inflammation for 3 years before she came to see me. She ached in places that shifted. She tired quickly. She told me she had begun to feel like a stranger waking up in someone else's body each morning. We began together with a simple daily protocol: warm lemon water first thing, a cup of burdock root and nettle tea before noon, a handful of dark leafy greens at both lunch and dinner, a 20-minute walk before the sun went down. By the end of 3 months, her inflammatory markers had come down by more than 35% on her next round of blood work. "Camilla," she said, "I had forgotten what it felt like to wake up and actually feel like myself. Here is the full protocol for this master sign. Warm lemon water first thing each morning, before coffee, before anything else. Burdock root and nettle tea before noon, dark leafy greens twice a day, a walk of 15 to 20 minutes each evening, and consistency above all. This is not a 1-week remedy. Give your body a full season and watch what it does when it finally has what it needs. After 35 years of watching what actually works, here are 3 things I wish every woman over 60 understood before she began. First, consistency over intensity. A modest cup of nettle tea taken every single day does more for the body's clearing work than a strong remedy used twice a month. The body responds to rhythm. It responds to being shown up for every morning the way you respond when someone keeps their word day after day. Remember what your kitchen smells like at 6 in the morning when you have been keeping to this for a month, when it has simply become part of how the day begins. That is the rhythm that changes things. Second, timing matters more than most people think. The liver does most of its clearing work in the late night hours. Heavy meals eaten after 7 in the evening disrupt that clearing cycle in ways that add up over weeks and months. Your last full meal before 7 o'clock in the evening supports everything else you are doing. Third, plain water is not optional. Every clearing pathway in the body requires water to move what it releases. If you are adding herbs and eating well, but drinking fewer than 6 to 8 cups of plain water each day, you are working against your own effort. The herbs cannot carry what the water refuses to move. Now, 3 mistakes I see over and over. Mistake 1, starting too many changes on the same day. When someone overhauls everything at once, the body cannot sort out what is helping. Start with one practice, give it 2 weeks, then add the next. Mistake 2, giving up before the plant has had time to work. Many women try a remedy for 3 or 4 days, notice nothing dramatic, and set it aside. Plant medicine works through steady accumulation, not sudden shifts. Give anything at least 30 days of consistent daily use before you draw a conclusion about it. Mistake 3, underestimating water. This is the one I see most often. Teas and roots and good food all work harder when there is enough plain water moving through the body to carry what the clearing systems release. 6 to 8 cups of plain water every day. My friend, before you go, I want to say something that the herb list alone cannot carry. What you are protecting here runs deeper than a symptom list. You are protecting the morning where your feet touch the floor and you rise without needing that long moment on the edge of the bed to find your footing. You are protecting the seat at the table you have always held, the one where your daughter or your granddaughter still leans in to hear what you think, because your mind is clear and your body is keeping pace with who you are inside. It is never too late. The body does not stop knowing how to heal at 70 or at 75 or at 80. It is waiting for the conditions it needs to do what it was always built to do. You are the one who creates those conditions. That has always been true and it remains true today. Let me lock this in for you. Number 10, persistent morning fatigue, a sign the body's clearing pathways are carrying more than they can move. Number 9, slow and foggy thinking, a sign the blood is holding what it should not. Number 8, dull or reactive skin, the body sending its message through the surface. Number 7, morning joint stiffness, uncleared inflammatory compounds settling in the tissue. Number 6, sluggish and heavy digestion, the gut's clearing work falling behind. Number 5, frequent unexplained headaches, the brain's environment responding to a burden it was not meant to carry. Number 4, persistent dark circles and puffiness, the kidneys showing their load. Number 3, changes in body scent, the skin taking on overflow clearing work. Number 2, slow wound healing, the blood's delivery capacity stretched thin. Number 1, chronic low-grade inflammation throughout the body, the master signal that sits beneath every other sign on this list. If what we covered today served you, please subscribe so you do not miss what comes next. I bring something new every week and I want you here for it. Share this with someone you love, a sister, your oldest friend, someone whose mornings you want to keep showing up in. And tell me in the comments, which of these 10 signs do you recognize in your own body today? I read every single comment on this channel, and what you tell me shapes where we go from here. The BoochBod link I mentioned is in the description below whenever you are ready to take a look. Until next time, my friend, take good care of that body. It is carrying you somewhere beautiful.